Hi Abdul, it's Dave. Again, I apologize you're having this issue with the turntable, but again, we're super fortunate that it's such an easy fix and it was so easy to diagnose. So basically, I've got a stripped 125 in front of me here, but basically, you're going to have to get your turntable, safe to turn over and be stabilized. So, you know, uh, put a bread tie in the arm, remove the platters, stick a piece of paper towel or non-linting, cotton or cloth in the bearing well so all the oil doesn't spill out. And then basically you're going to need something to prop the turntable up on. I've got these wooden stands that a friend built with, but I've used coffee cans. I've used paint cans. So you need three of these. So you're putting one on each side and then one back here in the back underneath. It's the wood frame that it's supporting. The major thing that you have to worry about when you turn the turntable over is that you're not resting it on the tone arm and don't rest it on the motor spindle. Just take your time and then you can get it stable. This is very stable with the three supports. It's not going anywhere. So this is the board where you're going to be reattaching the wire. I'm going to show you where it needs to be reattached. And hopefully you've got a little bit of soldering experience, or you have a friend who does, who can reattach this for you. But it's pretty straightforward. Again, we're pretty lucky. So there's two holes here, Abdul, one here and one here, and down deep in those is a screw that needs to be loosened, which will allow us to lift out the board. So I'm going to do that now. Straight screwdriver. Sometimes these are torqued, but where yours was worked on, it shouldn't be too bad to get them loose. Okay, so the board is lifting up now. I wanted to point out, I'm not sure if you can see it well. I'm going to move this camera a little bit. The switch goes right into this section right here. So you can see moving the switch back and forth. I have it straight in the middle. And just when you replace the board, that needs to go back into this slot as it's shown right here. And that's really the trickiest part of it. The screws thankfully hold in place. You want to very carefully expose the board. You can lean it against the back here. Obviously everything should be unplugged. I probably should have mentioned that first, but everything should be unplugged. I'm going to get a little bit of a close-up here so you can see right where that green wire goes. So this is the green one right here, Abdul. So that's the one that's come loose. I could see from the picture that there's a little bit of solder left on the wire, so that's great. And there should be solder on this post right here. The post has a small hole in it. So what I would do personally would be to just hold the soldering iron on the post and let the post get to the point where you can see the solder starting to liquefy, and then I would take the green wire and just shove it through the hole there and then just stop. Remove the soldering iron, take your fingers from the wire and just let that cool in place right there. Again, I think you have enough solder where you're probably not even going to have to buy any solder to do this. But if you do, have some on hand, and that could help the process along also. But that's the basic repair. The things you have to be careful about are turning the table, upside down. Make sure you don't damage the arm or the motor when you do that. And then when you go to turn this over, just make sure you don't loosen anything else that's there. By the way, this is a board that has not been revamped. It's an old one, so when you turn it over, yours is going to have brand new caps and a couple of new transistors and switches, etc. But so then you're going to finish, and you're going to again very gingerly turn it back over, line the two screws up for the slots in the bottom here, and then again the thing you have to watch is this little switch. Make sure that that's in the spot that it's supposed to go. And it's kind of nice the way the board was designed. You almost can't mess up tightening the board back into place because it's just one way that it fits in. That's one, and then two. Excuse my arm in the view there. So that's it. Feel free to ask questions, but that's about the way the repair goes. I wasn't focusing on that switch when with the camera, but again, that needs to be poking through right here, and just make sure that the switch is still working. That's really the trickiest part of the whole thing, besides soldering if you don't have that experience. Good luck with repair, and report back if you have any problems.